I'd ask the Sean Salazar campaign to come on up now. Let's welcome them.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for being here today. And I'm sorry that Sean can't be here this morning. He was booked for another event. We were invited to this. But if Sean were here, he would say that we are losing every major city in the state, not only in the state, but in our nation. So what are we going to do about it? We need to spread the conservative message to the people who need it the most. We need to go in the inner cities. We need to talk to the people, build relationships. And I understand, you know, these are great candidates here today, and they talk about, you know, talking to the people and spreading the conservative message. But how are you going to do that? Sean Salazar grew up in the inner city. He knows he's, and Deborah will tell you a little bit more about there. I'm taking over her speech. But one thing I want to tell you about Sean, and that is our slogan, is that we are about Constitution first. Both Sean and I served in the military. I served in Iraq. So I understand, you know, that our country needs the message the most today, and we can't, it's not a game anymore. We need to do something about it. We need to spread the message to people who need it the most. And I'm not a politician, so, you know, I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna look at my notes here, what I wrote down, what I wanted to say to you today. We're a simple team, straightforward, and we want to go and spread the conservative message to those areas that Republicans have been ignoring for years, especially here in Washington. We need to go in there and talk and say what we stand for and protect our Constitution. So now Deborah is going to tell you a little bit more about Sean.
I thought I was going to be sign holding, so my attire is for the cold. I'm going to tell you a story. A young boy grows up in the inner cities of Seattle. He has a family of a single mother. He doesn't know his dad. Matter of fact, there's no dads in the neighborhood. All his friends are black or Hispanic. His brother and sister are Hispanic, and another sister is black. He doesn't have a white friend until he goes into the Navy. This guy is the inner city. He should be a liberal, and he's not, because he felt a calling. One day when Reagan was shot and the children around the courtyard were cheering, he knew something was wrong. Dr. Salazar felt the power from God to go into the Navy. He knew the Navy not only gave him the passion to serve his community, but he knew the Navy gave him an opportunity to get out of the inner city, to get an education. He felt a calling to be a doctor. He's a service guy. Matter of fact, if you've met him, you know you're going to get touched. He can't keep your hands off your shoulders, giving you a hug. That's the kind of guy he is. What you're going to see here today is these are conservative men. Dr. Salazar is a conservative too. The answer you're going to have to ask when you go to the polls, who can get Patty Murray out? Who's going to win when we go to that general election? Now, Dr. Salazar was sitting in 2008 in September, and he was getting angry at what was going on with our country. So he went down and he said to God, I got to run. This is my time. This is my place. And he went down and he registered, and I believe he's the first U.S. Senate to register in the nation. He knew God would put everything into place for him, and it has. So what we've done over the last 15 months is we are not telling you what we're going to do. We've been doing it. We have 150 volunteers already statewide in lead positions of different minorities. We have team captains in every county. We have already developed the relationships that are needed in downtown Seattle. These relationships are non-transferable. It would be like me stating here is I'm going to move out of the state and I have a boyfriend, and I'm going to look at you and say, I'd like to give you my boyfriend. And then that relationship is already developed there. It takes time to cultivate relationships. And that's why Dr. Salazar has been working on them. I personally have been invited to the Moon Festival. I sing a mean karaoke, so I could do the song and dance on the spot. But Dr. Salazar is a passionate man. He's a small businessman. He knows what it is to live the American dream. He knows what it is to have nothing and then make yourself something. He knows what it means to give a hand up and not a hand out. Okay? He knows that. He believes in limited government. He believes in getting our laws and our Constitution back. We were on the rally of the 10th Amendment. You go to our calendar and you will see we are everywhere. We are not going to let her win. We have a power of the people statewide. Not only, it's going to take a collaboration of relationships outside the minority and the Democratic vote. It's going to take a relationship with the thousands of grassroots organizations are there. The Campaign Liberty, the grassroots of, the citizens of, the property rights of. We're in touch with all them. We've been talking to all of them for a year and have given over 300 activities and 180 speeches. So when you go to vote for the primary, you need to vote for the candidate who's going to win Patty in King County. And that's Dr. Salazar.
Let's welcome Clint Didier.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the candidates for stepping forward and giving up their lives for our country.